Welcome back to the channel. In this week's episode you'll see me complete the work that I needed to do to the centerboard, and I get excited about using peel ply. You can see that I'm working on the boat stands to lift the boat off the trailer, and at the end you'll see the jetty I built to store the boat on in the water. If you enjoy the content, please give us a like and a subscribe, and maybe share it with someone else that might be interested in it. Hopefully one day I can put hydrofoils on this Trimaran as well, get it really flying. This little welder, it's a champion. It's the little welder that could. It's built 2 skateboard ramps, and now it's built boat stands, just protecting the weld from rusting apart, and give it a bit of zinc spray. Yeah, so now I'm done with those. This is what I'm going to use to stand up the boat so I can take the trailer out, because I need to go and get the 2 armors and the if I put foils on there. So satisfying. But it's off the trailer. That was sketchy and it's a little bit scary. But the dagger board's down now, far enough for me to fix the problems with it. So I don't think it's been down this far for some years. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been down this far for a long time. But here's the damage to it. I'm gonna take some off. 20 mil off the bottom of it on this. I'm glad I got this much room to open it up. Getting there, one day at a time now. I'm off with the trailer down to get the armors and the beams from the south of Sweden and drive them back up. And I'm sure they've got some fiberglassing to do to them. But I'm getting closer and closer every day. Then I got a 9-hour drive. There's a few holes that I have to fill in, and some of these are loose as well. Yeah, so there's still a lot of work to be done. There's a fair few problems with these ones with the gel coat. This is the scratches, but they came in when the boat was getting lifted out of the water. And maybe one day I'll take all these screws out and I'll glass over this so I don't have the weight of these screws, and it'll just be so much stronger. Hey chickens. All this old grip tape's got to come off. Cut off the damage on that what is it called? Centerboard. Daggerboard. Daggerboard? Centerboard. Centerboard. I'm gonna cut the centerboard down and get rid of the damage off that. There's a line here where it tops out inside. I'm gonna make another line up here somewhere. So I'm gonna lose like 10, 15 centimeters of centerboard depth, so I can tuck it all the way up. The only reason why this is broken is because of when I put it on the trailer, the centerboard pushed all the way up and pushed it into it. Oh, so it's the lid for the centerboard. Yeah, so I'll get you in a bit closer. This is the line here where I need to cut above that line. I've made the initial cut, found out what's inside of it. So it's a really thin sheet of plywood, maybe 5 mil thick, which is coated in fiberglass, and then they've some sort of pour foam in there. Both sides, I don't know whether you can see that, but the thickness is more on one side and then less on the other. I'm not going to round it off at the back, I'm just going to leave it like sort of squared off like it is. I have to stop this. There's so many flies. Oh, it's terrible. I cut this angle a little bit more here because it's still wet in here. I'll leave it like this for some time now, just to let it dry out before I glass it over. I need to glass over quite a bit. I've dropped it down a long way and sanded underneath. What I'm actually going to do now is I've decided to have this old ski pole, because I live in a ski town. There's a fiberglass ski pole. So I can just cut it in half, and I'll use this as the shape. And I'll pin it up against here like this. And I'll do that on this angle as well. And I might actually glass it with the carbon. One thing of carbon, just to make it more shockproof, stronger for dings and stuff if I ever hit the bottom, which I'm sure I will. I don't know whether you can see these bugs, but there's so many bugs. Oh my goodness. So I have to go. Haven't done something for a while. It's been raining out. It's very wet in the grass. And I just wanted to check if I've got any leaks anywhere. I dried out the keel before, and now I've got rain coming out of one of the drainage places and running down the keel, which is boring. So I have to wait for another day for it to dry out again. Such is life. Didn't film this yesterday when I did it. I worked on the centerboard, so I put some glass mat here, cover up the crack, and then I'm going to fill that with filler as well. I'll put a round old ski pole on the bottom with epoxy to fill up this and get a semi sort of shape happening. And then today I'll use a plastic filler because it goes harder, faster, and then I can shape it a bit better. So I just held it up with masking tape, and it should be nice and strong for any collisions. One thing I do hate about this boat project is the amount of rubbish. It's just so much plastic and packaging crap just from buying the stuff to repair stuff. Imagine if you build a whole boat, it would be a crazy amount of rubbish. Yeah, what a mess. I ended up being pretty happy with it. You use peel ply on this now. I'll reveal it a little bit later, but I think after fairing and stuff, looking down, it's got a pretty nice shape. Got peel ply on this side, so hopefully no sanding needed. And then I'll just put an epoxy primer over the top because it's going into a freshwater lake. I probably won't need to do any anti-fouling on it. Not this year because it's going to be in the lake so little. Alright, first piece of peel ply. This is so satisfying. And all you do is just pull it off. And it's like no sanding. All the edges are just perfectly flat. Like it just looks like it's got a thing there, but it's not. It's just perfectly flat. Oh, so satisfying. It's just, yeah, it's so good with peel ply. I won't do any more, but maybe I can. Actually, the other side was been in the sun, so this should be dry and ready to come off as well. You can't hardly even tell there's a join there. Like I did a little bit of shaping, but you can imagine how much sanding it would have taken to get it this smooth. Alright, mix up some epoxy primer now to cover up the beautiful work that I did with I've cleaned up the dagger board as much as I can. I need to do this and lower it just a little bit more so I can get up a bit higher on it. This is just to protect the work I did and make it a little bit smoother. Well, that's it. Didn't come out as smooth as I would like, but it's sealed up now, so I can give it a light sand, I think, and it'll turn out pretty good. So where I'm gonna have the boat club over in the lake, build a floating pontoon to go at the end of one of the jetties. So I've just built that today as well. It's 420 long. The canoe to go on the side with 4 buoy things that go over the side of the boat to protect it. So I'm gonna have 4 along there. I'm gonna put some hooks, a hook there, a hook in the middle and a hook at the end to tie it onto.